Hello guys, Devas here. The new update just dropped this week and it's called the Glimmering Journey, where you can collect your rewards by daily logins, and also it has a sneak peek about a possible new unit that will come soon. I also plan to create a video about the lore of this game and probably will drop it next week. And as for today, I'm gonna tell you about the cheapest team you can build without a rerun or a banner unit, and it's the unit itself is actually you can get it for free in the standard supply pools and the chaos blueprint. Now without further ado, let's jump into it. If you are an F2P player, this team might be the best fit for you because there is no limited banner unit in here and gachapon unit. They come from the same standard supply banner, or even better, you can redeem them from Chaos Blueprint, so you don't have to pull them in the standard supply banner. As for the tank in this team, it is Borealis. She's the best free tank in the game, and it's actually quite annoying if you build her right. And as for the special unit, you can have Bratz Kingslayer here, or you can build Swarzili here, or there is also one more Kokuren type 3, the Yukiwari here, but I preferably choose Bratz Kingslayer here because in the rank ladder, Kikyo now is very popular and she's actually the best fit against Kikyo, since her ultimate can prevent Kikyo using her ultimate, so she's very useful in rank ladder. As for the assault unit is Chisa. Chisa is probably the most underrated assault unit in the game. She actually have the best ultimate because she could one-shot any enemy you have if you build her right. And as for the support unit here is Louis Downbrick. As you can see, she's the only one that has a rank unit. However, she's actually quite good because of her kit. She can heal your team quite often, and because of that she's quite annoying to deal with. And she's here because as of now there is no S rank support unit in the supply standard banner, so yeah, she's quite good in this team. Now let's go for the build. Borealis is not the tankiest nor the most durable tank unit in this game. However, her annoyance is actually come from her kit, which is boosting her armor, and it's related to her armor as well. And also her kit is boosting her deflection rate, which is a quite annoying effect in this game. And now, as you can see here in the ultimate skill, she deals physical damage equal to 975% of firepower to all enemies, and she increases her own armor by 78% and taunts all enemies lasting for 12 seconds. So what basically means is that she taunts all enemies, she attracted all of your enemies to the Borealis, and then she increased her own armor by 78%. It's actually pretty good skill for tank unit such as her, because you don't want enemies to attract to your assault unit nor your support unit. You want your enemies to go to her as a tank unit. However, I must give you a note that this ultimate skill is actually already upgraded. Here, as you can see it, it's level 2, so if you just build her from scratch, her increases on armor probably has less effect And if you want to upgrade her ultimate skill, you can go rank up here and you can upgrade the armor leap first if you want to upgrade her ultimate skill. Now let's go to her intrinsic skill. Her intrinsic skill is actually not that good to supporting her as a tank. However, it still gives your enemy a debuff, critical rest by 30%, so it's not that bad either. It's just not good as supporting tank unit as her. Now for her passive here, in battle increases on deflection by 8.5%. If on armor is the highest on the battlefield, for every 100 points of armor exceeds the next highest on deflection, increases by additional 2.2%. If on armor is not the highest on the battlefield, for every 100 points on armor less than the highest on deflection rate, decreases by 2.2%. This effect can stack up to 10 times. What basically it means is that you don't want to pair her with another tank unit, because it will make her passive to debuff her rather than buff her. So she's actually pretty good as a solo tank, but very bad if you want to pair her with another tank. Now next to the passive unit, when using the ultimate skill, gains a physical healing shield with a healing rate of 50%, and the shield strength is 520% of armor, lasting for 10 seconds. The healing shield is only activated after you use the ultimate skill, so the healing shield can be activated if you use and unleash the ultimate skill here. Now the next is, when using the ultimate skill, allies other than itself gain physical healing shield with a healing rate of 50%, and shield strength is 200% of armor, lasting for 10 seconds. What it basically means is just it gives your teammate the same healing shield as her. Now for the build, the best weapon for her is actually her weapon, her X weapon here, because at the start of battle it will increase her own armor by 157% for 30 seconds, and it also increases duration of generated healing shield by 2 seconds for the entire battle. Now for the chip, I use the deflection chip here because it increased the perfect deflection by 6% during the battle and gains additional 3.2% deflection for every 5% deflection process during the battle. So it increases more of her deflection rate. And now it's called the warp chip. You can also give her with another armor chip, like here, the magic armor, because it increases her armor. However, I prefer the deflection chip here because it will generate more deflection for her. Now the deflection itself in this game is actually how evasion rate is working in another game. So it could be mean that if your enemy attacking the Borealis, it will count as a miss because of the high deflection rate, and that's what makes her annoying and quite take long to take down. Now for rank up, as I mentioned before, it's better for you to increase her armor first here, since it will increase her armor and it will upgrade her ultimate skills. Then don't forget to overclock her if you want to build her. And for Void Crystal, I use the Hermit Void Crystal When using intrinsic skill, increase the deflection of all allies by 10%. So it's more deflection rate for me. And if you want to build her, don't forget to sync rate here. Now I don't have the full sync rate as you can see here, but the full sync rate for one unit is 500%. The sync rate, the base sync rate must be 400%, and the intimacy is 25% if you want to get a 500% sync rate. Now as you can see here in the details, my armor is 3550, and my deflection is 83.5%. Now as you can see here, deflection just mean an efficient rate for other game. So the more deflection you have, the more evading you can go with her. And I have 83.5% chance to evade the enemy attack. Now for the next build. Now as for special unit, as I mentioned before, you can actually replace Kingslayer here with Concurrent Type 2, Yukiwari, or Swazili here. However, they have their own niche and their own specialty. For example, Swazili here have the specialty to counter any enemy with high amount of healing effect. For example, the Cat Eye. So with her ultimate skill, so basically, for example, if your enemy can heal 2000 points of HP to her allies, with her ultimate she can turn the 2000 points of HP into 2000 points of damage to her enemies. Now as Yukiwara, she actually pretty good since she can deal stun to the enemy, and also probably very good to pair up with Borealis here. But I cannot show you how to play it with her because she's not in the best potential with me, because I haven't built her yet in her full potential here. She's actually the best with collapse chip, but I still have her with AMP, so I won't use her. And I also couldn't give you a full review for Swazili nor Yukiwari here because it will took quite a long time and it's not very good in one video, and because of that I will only focus on Kingslayer here. Now as for Kingslayer, the best kit for her is actually only her ultimate skill and her passive here. Her ultimate skill deals physical damage equal to 700% of firepower to all enemies and reduce enemy armor by 50% for 12 seconds. And combine it with circuit interference, it adds up with a deduction effect for 50 endpoints from the target per second for 10 seconds, which means that when you use her ultimate skills, she not only give your enemy armor reduce effect, but she also give your enemy and deduction effect, which means that she gave 2 debuff with 1 skills. As for her intrinsic skill, she also reduce your enemy armor by 25%, so reducing your enemy armor even more. As for this passive skill, in battle reduce all enemies effect rest by 70.5%, Now, as for the another passive, the ultimate skill additionally reduce the target physical rest and comfort rest by 39% with a basic effect accuracy of 100% if they are 2 or fewer enemies, increase all allies firepower by 39% for 10 seconds. So as you can see here, most of her passive actually support her ultimate skill, and thus why I use collapse chip here to let her get her ultimate skill as soon as possible. And as for her weapon, her best weapon is actually her X weapon, Gageberg here. Extend the end deduction effect of circuit interference skill by 4 seconds. Increase effect AMP for all allies by 26.7 seconds. Now if you refine it or upgrade it to another height, to the max level plus 5 here, as you can see, it extend the end deduction even more effect and interference skill by 5 seconds, so which basically mean it extend the effect of end deduction to the point of 50 seconds. Now 15 seconds is quite long for the rank ladder, especially if you are against Kikiao and or other enemies that depended on their ultimate skill. It can be very useful using the Gageberg here, and it also increase effect AMP for all allies by 30.9%. Now effect AMP is actually boost accuracy for the debuff effect. So if your effect AMP is high for a unit, it can boost the debuff accuracy for effect AMP. I will show you it later. Now for the rank up, the best rank up you can choose if you already put her into UR. The first you want to upgrade is actually Armor Rip, because Armor Rip can get her more armor plus upgrade her ultimate skills. Now her armor won't be on par with Borealis since it will debuff her, and since her special unit, it may not be exceed the Borealis, so it's fine to upgrade her with Armor Lip first. And don't forget to upgrade her Overclock if you want to build her. As for the Void Crystal, she's actually the best to be with Hangman here. When on durability first drop below 50%, inflicts the shock effect on all enemies for 10 seconds, which means that your enemies cannot use skills when she drop her HP points to 50% or below, but your enemies can still attack you with basic attack. Now also don't forget to singlet her with 500 points, 500%. I haven't fully singlet her yet. However, it is best for upgrading her singlet to 500%. Now for effect EMP. Now as you can see here, every 1% effect EMP increase effect accuracy by 1%, and every 1% effect EMP increase effect duration by 1%. So it increases the accuracy of effect by 1%, which means that here in some special unit, the basic effect accuracy is actually below 100%. For example, Zwarzili is 70%. So with effect AMP, you can increase her basic accuracy effect to 100% if you have big effect AMP like this. Now next up will be Chisa, the assault unit. The assault unit for this team is Chisa, Dark Eagle here. Chisa has the ETE or Dark Eagle that depended on her ultimate skill, which is actually pretty good because it could one-shot her enemies or can kill your enemies, destroy them in one shot. As you can see here in the ultimate skills, deals complete damage equal to 600% of fire power to all enemies and deals additional complete damage equal to 300% of fire power to the current lock enemies when in the naval battlefield. Deals complete damage equal to 800% of fire power to all enemies and deals additional complete damage equal to 400% of fire power to the current lock enemies. What it means that depending on the battlefield she's in, her damage will be varied. However, she's stronger in the naval battlefield, so if you want to put the best potential on her, it's better to be in the naval battlefield. So if you are in a rank raider, it's best for her to be put in the naval battlefield than to any other field. Now her intrinsic skills deals complete damage equal to 480% of fire power to the lock enemy, and there's no debuff nor buff effect for the allied nor the enemies. Now as for the her passive skill Computation Link, in battle increase on AoE damage by 29%, which is pretty good because her ultimate skill herself is an AoE, so having an AoE damage increase on AoE damage is actually pretty good because it supports the ultimate skills. When the focus fire attack hits marks the first enemy and reduce their physical rest and complete rest by 52% for 12 seconds, it's actually not that important for her. Now for the next passive skill, when a marked target takes damage, all other enemies will additionally take damage equal to 21% of that damage. So what it basically means is that if one marked enemy is getting damage, all other enemies will get the damage as well. So it's not a debuff, but it's actually quite a good effect to have, since all of her kit support the AoE damage, especially her ultimate skills. Now for the equipment, she's good with White Moon. I use her X weapon here, White Moon. It restore 1.9 AP every 5 seconds and increase on focus fire damage by 180%. I actually kinda want to see if there is any other weapon that could suit her, because it is actually best if she has the equipment or weapon that could actually support her ultimate rather than focus fire, but I haven't found it yet. Now as for the chip, she's best with collapse chip here because it could recover 50N every 4 seconds, so it basically means that she can quickly get to her ultimate skills, so she can use her ultimate skills as soon as possible, which is very good. And it also increase AoE damage dealt by 22%, which is actually pretty good as well, since her ultimate skill and one of her passive increases AoE damage. Now for the rank up here, you may want to either rank up her firepower or her armor lip. Now I advise to increase her armor lip first, because it will increase her ultimate skill and upgrade it to better height. If you have her core here, so it's better to upgrade her armor leap first, but I actually upgrade her firepower because I want more firepower for her and deal quite a damage with it. Now don't forget to upgrade her overclock as well. And as for the void crystal here, it's actually best if you have emperor skill here or strength, but preferably the emperor skill here because it increases fixed damage by 13% for each surviving ally. So it increases more damage if you have emperor's void crystal here. Now for our support unit in this team, Dawnbreak. Now Dawnbreak is the only A rank unit in the team. It is due to the game currently doesn't have any S rank support in the supply standard banner, and due to that she's actually the best for the cheapest or free unit that you can have in the game. She's actually quite good support because she can heal her team quite often, and it actually quite powerful as well. Now for the ultimate skill, restore 4% plus 60 durability per second to all allies lasting for 10 seconds. It is a good skill to have because when your enemy is almost destroyed, when your teammate is almost destroyed, you can use the ultimate skill and get your teammate into the full health. Now for her intrinsic skill, restore 60% plus 210 durability to the ally with the lowest durability percentage and recovers 30% of their DS fields. Now these skills can be used quite often, and due to that she's actually pretty good for A rank unit, especially a rank unit. Now for passive skill, in battle increase on healing bonus by 22%, and another passive, the ultimate skill additionally restore 7 AP for the team and increase all allies receive healing effects by 50%, lasting for 10 seconds. Now for the equipment, I use Feng Z3 here for her equipment. It's actually not an X weapon or exclusive weapon. It is just an S rank weapon, but here, but I upgraded to the exclusive weapon with a special X upgrade. Probably I will add it to another video. Now for Feng Z, it has an effect here. Each time using an intrinsic skill, restore 46.9% of lost durability to the ally with the lowest durability percentage. So what it basically means is that after you use intrinsic skill, it will heal your allies even more for 46.9% of lost durability to the ally with the lowest durability percentage. So it will double heal your allies here. Now for her chip, I use Serenity because it increased her healing bonus by 12% during the battle, and if I have 3-piece set, it increased healing bonus by 16% and shield effect by 24% during the battle. So it will support her healing bonus even more, so I can get more heal from her. Now as rank up, I actually already fully ranked her up. So but if you are building her from scratch, you want to build her from this armor lip and then go to the fire power lip and then durability. It is because armor lip will upgrade her ultimate skill, then fire power lip will upgrade her intrinsic skill, and durability lip will upgrade her normal attack. Now for the overclock, make sure to max her overclock. As you can see here, I haven't maxed her yet, but it's quite pretty good because I haven't maxed her yet, and yet her combat power is at 28,000%. And also don't forget to sing rate her at 500%. As you can see here, the full sing rate if you have a unit is 400%, and the intimacy if you want to be at 500% should be at 25% intimacy. So you will have 500% combined intimacy and sync rate. Now let's take into the battlefield. Now I'm sorry I couldn't show you the team at the rank ladder because I already use all my rank ladder ticket. Because of that I cannot use the team in the rank ladder. However, I still can show you the team in the chaos blueprint in best plunder here. Now let's take yeah. Now let's choose our team, and you want to make sure to put Chisa as the leader because she's the damage dealer. Now let's start. A bit late here. Now as you can see here, the one that was glowing is actually focus fire here. Now 2 of them is destroyed. As you can see here, her ultimate skill is actually pretty potent.
戦完了。そんなに難しくなかったわ。
Now as you can see here, Chisaka MVP. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. See ya.